Really? You don't say. I strongly recommend Skyline.
This video is brought to you by dbrand and their all-new range of accessories, including cases for the AirPods Pro 3, easy-to-apply screen protectors, and cases for the new iPhone 17, including their very distinctive-looking tank case. You can grab all this stuff.
It's the worst review from Minojo.
2% off their Prism screen protector when you.
Well, starting with an ad is not a good sign, that's for sure.
Silent Hill F is another milestone in Konami's redemption arc, and it's easily their most significant. This is a publisher that had all but given up.
Their most significant. Peak players 20,000 on Steam, by the way.
On premium game making after their very public falling out with Kojima, but in recent years they've committed to reviving the most classic franchises. The recent Metal Gear Solid 3 remake.
Cashing in on a cheap remake is not reviving a franchise. Making a new game would be reviving a franchise. Making a remake does not by any means guarantee the revival of an IP, especially because most of the people who buy remakes are people who already played the originals. They usually don't get new fans in. I believe I read a study that showed something like that. I can't remember. I wish I remembered what the details were of the study, but it basically just showed that most of the people who buy remakes are people who already played the originals.
Remake was a little safe in that it felt more like a remaster than a remake, but it was earnestly committed to the source material in ways that fans appreciated. The Silent Hill 2 remake from Bloober Team was far more ambitious, looking to rework significant portions of the game's combat and levels, while also making smart interventions into the storytelling.
Smart interventions into the storytelling. So he defends the changes that made the game objectively worse. I shouldn't be surprised, given this is shill up we're talking about.
The result was a phenomenal homage to the original horror masterpiece.
Phenomenal homage. So he's still like, Skill Up doesn't give a fuck. His bot fans, you know, they're not real human beings. A million subhumans. It's easy to find a million subhumans these days because I mean, there's a billion of them in certain countries. Like, there's no way, dude. There's no way. Every real Silent Hill 2 fan is like, no, they fucked up so much shit. This scene right here. Has he not seen the side-by-side of this fucking scene? Every fucking single person agrees that the original version of this scene is better than the remake. Everybody. I'm sure he doesn't edit the videos. I doubt he does. He almost certainly has an editor. But this almost feels like an insult that they use this. Legitimately.
One that satisfied long-term Silent Hill fans while also welcoming in an entirely new generation. Not to downplay the achievement of those remakes, but remaking classic games gives you an immediate leg up. It's harder to start from scratch, imagining an entirely new experience that feels worthy of those iconic franchises, something that reaches back into the past without feeling derivative, something that charts a new future without feeling like it's going too far off course. Finding that balance was clearly the goal that Konami set for themselves when they greenlit Silent Hill F.
No, it wasn't. It went way too far. Way too far. There's no fucking person that thinks this was within, like, the parameters of what could be considered a Silent Hill game. If you took away the fog in the town segments, it would have nothing in common with Silent Hill. Not a single fucking thing.
Recently, Konami has taken some risks with the studios they've entrusted their franchises to. The Silent Hill F developer Neobards was their riskiest bet yet. This is a studio that's primarily acted as a support and porting studio. Unless I've missed something, it doesn't seem like they've ever released their own internally developed game.
Yeah, they made the Dead Rising Deluxe remaster, which is like one of the worst remasters ever.
And now, suddenly, they've been handed the keys to one of survival horror.
I love how he just showed that. Yeah, isn't it great that you can't hit enemies until they activate? Like, at least in Dead Space, you know, if there's a necromorph playing dead, you can shoot it. In this, no, they don't count as an enemy till they get up. I know no one watches the B-roll. This is why I should stop being concerned about my edits. Like, I really should just go fucking fast. Because, like, is anyone else watching this? I watch this. I'm seeing this right now. Why is this the B-roll here? This makes the game look bad. But no one's watching the screen.
most iconic franchises. A safer bet was the game's leading writing talent, a man who goes by the pen name Ryokishi7. He's a famed visual novel horror writer best known for his When They Cry series of games. Konami recruited him for his writing chops, but also because they wanted someone who truly understood the essence of Japanese horror. Silent Hill is a series made by Japanese developers but set in the United States, and as such it has its own Twin Peaks-esque vibe. Here with Silent Hill F, Konami wanted to keep the same psychological horror foundations.
There's almost no psychological horror in this game, though. Legitimately, there's almost none. I know probably Skillup would say the marriage allegory dream sequences count, but honestly, I don't think so. There's like no psychological horror in this game. Unless you count like, oh, my dad is a giant fat guy with a butcher blade demon, and all mothers are giant titty beasts, obese titty beasts that birth fetus creatures. Oh wow, that's some profound symbolism there. I wonder what that's supposed to mean. Fuck.
It set it in 1960s.
There's no subtlety at all.
A deeply cultural element into the story being told. So we have a dormant IP with a deeply engaged and frankly hard to please fandom, a studio with little track record in terms of original releases, and a setting that breaks with franchise conventions. Clearly, Konami were taking some risks here, some big ones in fact. So how did all of this come together? Well, by now you would have already seen the title of this video, so you won't be remotely surprised when I say that it came together really well. But that title does not convey just how unbelievably good Silent Hill F is. Like,
again, people have no self-respect, dude. None. Like, imagine you take Skillup's recommendation, you hate the game because you have any taste at all, legitimately any. Do you keep watching this guy? Or do you unsubscribe, dislike, and spread the word about his channel? Yeah, I know what people with souls would do. They would do the second thing. I don't think most of his fans have souls. They'll probably just say, oh, that was just his opinion, and keep watching. But if they were human beings, they would stop watching.
Man, I'm not going to speculate about where this might sit in a forced ranked list of Silent Hill games or survival horror games, but I will say this. This is an instant classic. This is
who actually is this guy? That's my question. He has 1 million subscribers apparently, and this has 250,000 views. So someone's listening to this. And look, this is, I know the dislike extension under reports dislikes, but at most it's probably only a 5% dislike ratio, despite shilling a dog shit video game. So I mean, this is legitimately arguably the worst game. The worst major, like, high-budget game that's released this year. I think Mind's Eye is worse, but it's like second or third place that I played anyway. There might be shit high-budget game I haven't played, but I try to play as many as I can. This is like the second or third worst game that came out this year. Mind's Eye was fun to watch, so only the first half. You guys keep forgetting how incredibly boring the second half was. Show up as a totally bot channel. No way actual humans mostly positive, that thumb ratio. Dude, there's just a lot of normal fags out there, dude. Comment section will make you see red. I don't even want to read it, man. It's not even people who bought the game. This video, just a reminder, this video has 250,000 views. Right? Let's look up the Steam player count. Again, it was 20,000 the last time I checked. Yeah, the peak was 22,000. The peak. Now, obviously, PlayStation, Xbox sold some copies, sure. But, like, no one's who's fucking watching this vid and commenting even bought the goddamn game. Like, this is why it's like bot shit. It feels like more dead internet theory. You can't, like, agree with the video, say it's great, and then you have no intentions of playing the game. That's retard shit. But that is what normies do.
To inspire its own deeply engaged, deeply passionate fandom who pick through this game's characters and plot points and illusions and themes and imagery and slavishly devote themselves to the task of sucking the marrow from this game, because frankly, it's worth that sort of dedication. It is so beautiful in its rendition of horror, from settings to creature design to scenarios. It's so
Oh, you mean like the 5 enemy types? You really like the design of the 5 enemy types? I guess they're being charitable. There's 6 because the acid spitter and the weird like doll screamer, even though they use basically the same model and same animations, do have slightly different attacks. But I said in the review, there's only 5 enemy types. 5 for the entire fucking game. 5 enemies and 3 bosses. 5 enemies and 3 bosses. And there's so much combat. An insane amount of combat in this game to have 5 fucking enemy types.
confronting in its themes and its storytelling, so disturbing in its pivotal moments, and yet all of this impact sits just beyond your reach. You can see it and you can feel it, but you can never fully grasp it because you're not meant to.
Yeah, it's like the Silent Hill 2 remake. The Silent Hill 2 remake only had 3 enemy types and a lot of combat, but at least the combat was serviceable in the Silent Hill 2 remake. The combat in this is horrific. So even though this has more enemy types, the combat is way more painful.
The distance between what you know and what you think you might know has been carefully curated and protected. And into that space pours our own imaginings and theories, our own perspectives and speculations. In time, that gap
Review
will
on this
close
already?
as
No,
the
I'm
vast
working
cottage
on it.
industry of YouTube SAS will deconstruct and reassemble this story. But for now,
Wait, hold on. I need to hear that. What did you just say?
imaginings and theories, our own perspectives and speculations. In time, that gap will close as a vast cottage industry of YouTube SAS will deconstruct and reassemble.
All right, wait. I got to go back to the beginning of this thought.
But you can never fully grasp it because you're not meant to. The distance between what you know and what you think you might know has been carefully curated and protected. And into that space pours our own imaginings and theories, our own perspectives and speculations. In time, that gap will close as a vast cottage industry of YouTube SAS will deconstruct and reassemble this story. But for now, its impact exists as the fog does.
No, bro, it ain't that fucking deep. It's about a bitch who's in her 20s who doesn't want to get into an arranged marriage, okay? She's forced to arrange marriage because her dad is deep in debt, right? She fucking hates marriage because her older sister got married and left the family, so her parents are abusing her. She fucking is hyped up on pills and goes on a massacre on her wedding day. That's all. That's what the fucking game is. That is not deep. That is not fucking interesting. That is shit. The entire game is a drug-fueled fucking hallucination because the bitch doesn't want to get married. That's literally all it is. That is not deep. That is not interesting. You fucking lying piece of shit. Oh my god.
Potent and omnipresent, but amorphous and elusive. As a video game, Silent Hill F is simple in that its structure, puzzles, and combat are largely unremarkable. The satisfying interconnected level design
Unremarkable? Oh, it's way worse than unremarkable, bro. It is painful. It is bad.
of Dead Space cannot be found here, and nor can the thrilling action survival horror combat of Resident Evil 4 or Chronos the New Dawn. The puzzles are...
Okay, hold on. Chronos the New Dawn's combat wasn't that good. Relax. Relax, bro. That's just way shit Dead Space. I mean, better than this game, though. Like, Chronos is... It's okay. Again, it's okay. Just like Silent Hill 2 Remake's combat was okay. But it wasn't awesome, or whatever the fuck he just said.
sometimes bad, relying on wordy clues that don't neatly communicate the intended solution.
Yeah, the puzzle shit was... That felt like some ESL translation shit.
And there's a lot of key hunting going on here. Puzzle issues aside, the combat and exploration are extremely thematically aligned.
What? It's thematically aligned that what you think is a high school girl is beating the fuck out of horrific monsters with a steel pipe. That's thematically aligned for a horror game? So this is just so pretentious, because like the people watching don't even understand the words out of his mouth. They're like, this guy's smart. This guy's smart. He don't big word. He's smart. He don't big word. Me crap. That's literally all this is. That's all this is. I can't watch 19 more minutes of this, because that's literally all the videos are. It's just flowery language that says nothing. Yeah, Wakanda forever. That's so based. Holy shit. I will never stop making fun of deaf people. They get what they fucking deserve. Okay. The idea of that is funny in my head. If they didn't make us play as the deaf girl, I wouldn't have said shit. Okay, so that's on Insomniac. They fucking brought that on themselves. They every ounce of bullying deserved. Chill up, shield. It's over. Yeah. Keep watching the video. What, Mick Armadillo? Is there a timestamp I'm supposed to keep watching to? Because, like, legitimately, I'm just annoyed. Like, the shilling, he's shill up for a reason, because this is what he does. He just sells products. The only things he shits on are the obviously dog shit things. Like, obviously dog shit. If it, on the outside, looks pretty, then he will shill it. That is in his nature. But people, they grow to trust him because, again, he shits on the things that are okay to shit on that everyone else does, so he's trustworthy. New comments are calling him out on his terrible takes. Okay, we might sort by new. All right, hold on.
Viewed as narrative tools rather than gameplay tools, combat and exploration are perfect complements to the tortured journey of Hinako, and I think it's vital to view these things in their context rather than unflatteringly comparing them to the combat and exploration that can be found in other games. To do so would really miss the point of what these gameplay elements are aiming for. That's because Silent Hill F is a deeply contiguous work. It all exists in service to the vision that Ryokishi 7 had for this setting, these characters, and this story.
See, that's another meaningless slop statement. How do people listen to stuff like that? Like, he basically just said a pretentious way of saying it's greater than the sum of its parts, right? Everything is in service to the vision, right? But it's like, but is the vision good? Why is the vision good? Does he say that, like, you know, you can't just say things like that. It's weird how, like, a script can sometimes feel more rambly than my rambles. But again, you have to at least have enough of an intelligence level to even understand what Skill Up is even saying to come to that conclusion. But genuinely, these videos feel more rambly than mine, despite being scripted.
Story. We often lament the absence of true authorship in video games.
Yeah, the true authorship. That's what Brian C. told me about before.
Its very last. It is so confronting, so intricate, so thought-provoking, and so brilliant.
It is not thought-provoking, you fucking idiot. You gay-ass motherfucker. Yeah, it's thought-provoking that you want women to, like, rot and have empty egg cartons and drown in cat piss forever. Hating men, bitching about them on Twitter daily. Yeah, that's thought-provoking, dumb fuck. Jesus.
That it dares us to imagine that perhaps the best days of Silent Hill lay ahead of us rather than behind us.
That's so cringe. When Brian told me that, I'm like, there's no fucking way he just said that. How could you even keep watching after that? You couldn't. I couldn't. There's no way I would watch. There's no way. How could you even watch that? Like, that is insane shilling to, like, such a degree where it's like, he's deep-throating Konami cock, and he's liking it because he's gay. Gay-ass Australian motherfucker sucking Japanese cock. And he likes it. And he likes it. What's with Aussies and shilling? I don't know. It's just the prison country. Brother, Japanese used to make good games. So happen. To be fair, this is a Chinese developed game. The Ryukishi guy is Japanese though, but Neobards is a Chinese company. But the Higurashi guy is Japanese, and he wrote this. So I don't know. I gave it the benefit of the doubt and said maybe he didn't really write for it. I said that in the intro of my video, but who knows? Maybe he just decided that he's a strong feminist or something. I have no idea. All right, let's sort by new. Look at these comments, by the way. This is like half as many. No, this is less than half as many comments. Oh, hold on. I gotta move my thing. It's only 2,000 comments for a 250,000 view video. one of my videos with that many views would have like 6,000, 7,000, something like that. Like that, that's weird. Maybe he has comment moderation turned up, or maybe it's bot views. Anyway, but okay, yeah. Now I can see why you guys want me to sort by new. This is one of you fuckers in chat right now. Oh, wow, that's a funny meme. That's two. Let's see, Shill Up, another review that gaslighted me into thinking this is a great game. Combat and all the parts of the school section are flat out awful. Yep. Shill Up. I bet you do, Glazer. Yep. Latina Parfait in here. Imagine still being subbed to this guy after him lying and glazing the guy without even playing it, such as getting multiple things wrong, such as the name of characters, and lying about gameplay elements, such as the parry. Oh shit, what'd he say? Do we have to skip to gameplay? What'd he lie about with the parry? I don't know. What does he say about the gay content warning? I don't even think I brought that up in my vid. I think I forgot.
When you first boot up Silent Hill F, a content warning appears.
Depictions of gender discrimination, child abuse, bullying, drug and yeah, I forgot that was even there. It's cringe.
On screen that reads, quote, "This game contains depictions."
He said the game had no parry? What? So he didn't even play it. So he didn't play the game then? How are people... So he just lied and didn't play. There's no way he doesn't know there's a parry. Even if he was on story mode, how could you not know there's a parry? He obviously didn't play the game. I don't want to watch this whole thing. We should skip around. Okay, this looks like combat.
It's really just the precursor though, as the architecture, landmarks, and natural landscapes of the town eventually come to distinguish themselves from the white picket fences, and Hinako is transported to a Shinto-inspired spirit realm that's an inward manifestation of her outward journey. Here, torii gates and temples and Japanese weaponry and iconography all feature heavily, a haunted mind palace through which Hinako stumbles towards either her doom or her redemption. We think about Japanese horror, we imagine a version of horror that is less about body horror or action and more about psychological horror. That's no doubt related to the popular rendition of Japanese culture, one based on societal choosing peace and during an and guilt when they couldn't readily accept the societal roles that they were destined for. And there's no more fertile ground for a Silent Hill story than shame and guilt.
Okay, but the guilt is... I got into my father arranged a marriage with a rich guy because he got into debt. Is the guilt that she friend-zoned Shu when they were in high school? Is that enough guilt to get drawn into Silent Hill land? Was the guilt just not running away from home or something? Like, what? That doesn't even fucking make sense. This is what I'm saying. Like, did he play the game? I don't think so. Dude, look at... He's desperately... The editor's trying to make a montage to make the combat look good. It just looks so bad. You can't make it look good.
Previews for Silent Hill F went out around Gamescom back in August, and a lot of the chatter on the Silent Hill subreddit was that the buzz was generally positive, but the combat was pretty mixed. The most common response to that was, "Oh good, so it's a Silent Hill game then." It's a light-
No, shut the fuck up, you subhuman piece of shit. Did you even play the old games? Do you even play any survival horror games? The combat is not... Ooh, I don't want to get in this. I already talked about it in the video. In the intro, I talk about how absurd it is. This revisionist history. Oh, survival horror games, they played like complete shit, bro. You just expected it. No, the whole fucking point is resource management. That's it. It's not supposed to be an action game. It's supposed to be, oh, there's 3 zombies in front of me. They take like 8 bullets each to kill. I've only got 15 handgun rounds left. Do I take the bite from this one and run past? You know, it's that. That's what the gameplay is.
Hearted, affectionate jab, of course, but it's also true in the sense that the series has always under-delivered on the combat front, but it's also been the case that no one really cared because you weren't playing Silent Hill games for the combat, you were playing for everything else. Silent Hill F, either to its credit or its detriment, faithfully follows in that
No, bitch, no. Killing 500 enemies over the course of the game is not faithful to Silent Hill gameplay. I even showed, in my Silent Hill 2 remake review, I showed the numbers of enemy killed between the original and the remake. It was like, I killed 70 in the original and over 300, I think, in the remake, if I recall correctly, from me editing the video.
Our tradition. The combat here is not great, but I would argue it's not bad either.
No. It is one of the worst combat systems ever, of all time. I'm not joking. This is one of the worst combat systems in any video game. I had to re-record my combat section because it was 20 minutes dissecting how shit it was, and I'm like, nah, I can't ramble this long. I got to condense this. The video was, like 35 minutes. 20 minutes of it cannot be talking about combat. No. So I had to re-record it and condense it down.
And my hot take is that I think it's actually better than the combat of Silent Hill 2 remake.
I can't believe he just said that. He didn't play. He didn't play it. There's no way he just said that. He didn't play the game. There's no one who thinks that. There's no person who played Silent 2 remake and played this and said this is better combat. He didn't play it. Maybe his editor played it or something and just told him what it's like.
Before you get mad at me about that, just let me explain. Combat in Silent Hill games is that classic survival horror disempowerment fantasy. You are weak, you are resource starved, you are frequently overwhelmed. It's a fight or flight framework where very often the best choice is flight because you are just not equipped to meet every threat head on. That disempowerment exists across the survival horror genre, but it's especially important in Silent Hill games because this is psychological horror. It's centered on the oppressiveness of the mind and how paralyzing it can be when your inner demons somehow manifest. In that context, words like slow, clunky, awkward, frustrating, cumbersome, these are words we typically associate with bad combat. But in this context, those words can mean the opposite. And in fact, sometimes they're the...
But Hinako feels super fucking strong in this game because of the parry. So does he just not know there's a fucking parry? I might have to add that to my review. If he really doesn't say... If he says there's no parry, I might have to go back and add that. Because, like, that's holy fuck.
Perfect descriptors for well-designed survival horror combat. Silent Hill F's combat framework is built to elicit exactly these adjectives from you. Hinako moves slowly, even when running. She doesn't have a quick turn. She has no parry ability.
She has no parry ability. He actually just said that. Oh my god, this is a fake review. Hold on, let me go back.
Silent Hill F's combat framework is built to elicit exactly these adjectives from you. Hinako moves slowly, even when running. She doesn't have a quick turn. She has no parry ability.
I can't even believe he just said that and got away with it. I mean, his career should be over after that. If people had any self-respect, if they played this game and, immediately in the fucking tutorial, they show you the insanely overpowered... What does he even think the faith meter is for there? You have a health meter, a stamina meter, and a faith meter. What do you think that does there? What do you think holding L2 does in this game? Did he never hold L2 at any point? I'm putting that in the video. I'm 100% putting that in the video. There's no way that he's going to get away with this. No, I'm absolutely putting a spotlight on that shit. Shill up 100%. He did not play this game. He did not play it. I'm convinced. Yeah, drama time. I have to call this out. This is like blatant actual shilling. Like provable shilling. This is something a game journalist. This is like the Cuphead shit. This is a basic mechanic of the game that he's not aware of. A basic mechanic that you use the entire game that breaks the combat system. At that, by the way, it is your most powerful tool in the combat. I'm on my third playthrough. I barely use L2. That's not even Perry's charge up. Family Guy Gamer, do you not know about it either? What? Bro, I did it the whole game. Hold on. There's no way we have another person here who doesn't know how it works. Some people said there might not be a parry in journo mode. There's no way that's true. That makes no sense. You hold L2, and then it freezes time, and then you press R2 to counterattack. All right, is that guy who's in chat right now saying that's not there in story mode? He's just baiting. I think he's just baiting. Bold of you to assume journos can time anything in a video game. Load up Silent Hill F news story file on story mode. You don't need to press L2 to see the counter. Yeah, I know, but it only flashes for like a millisecond, Family Guy Gamer. Did you never hold L2 and see that literally freezes the game for multiple seconds? I mean, that's like the whole point of the focus. The focus attack is way weaker than the counter. Okay, let's pull up the game. Fuck it. We can derail the stream. Let me plug the controller back in. It'd be interesting to scrub YouTube and see if his footage comes from a channel that uploads day one walkthroughs, i.e. he's getting footage notes from other people. It's possible. Hold on. Alright, we're almost at combat. Remember, there is no parry in this game. Just remember that. Hold on, there's an item over here if I remember right. Isn't there? Yep. An item I can't use because I don't want a bad ending. Yeah, no Tylenol. Shit. Keep pressing R button. Can I unequip red capsules? I can discard them. Yeah, eat shit. How do I remove this off my bar? There we go. I see, there you go. No temptation to ever use drugs. Bunny outfit is ugly. Alright, just time out Siphon Filter. I'm tired of reading this mess. We're slowly gonna filter out chat members. Kind of dumb that using the pills which restore both health and sanity caused a bad ending. Well, I'm guessing you didn't watch the ending, XJ. This is all a drug-fueled hallucination. The entire game is fake. This is not Silent Hill. The other Silent Hill games are not hallucinations. There wasn't even a cutscene for that. I thought... okay, whatever. I thought there was a cutscene to introduce monsters. Alright, whatever. Remember, there's no parry in this game, guys. No parry. Oh. Oh, what was that? What did I just do? I thought there was no parry in this game. What was that move I just did? Huh, maybe it was a fluke. Maybe that was just a crazy accident that I just pulled off. He didn't play the game. They teach you that in one of the first fights, I swear. That's one of the worst fucking fight. I mean, one of the first fights in the game, they teach you how to do that. I'm definitely cutting to that in the video. I'm gonna be like, oh, there's no parry, and then no parry. Oh, no parry. There's no parry in the game. Really? There's no parry.